Do you know that what you may refer to as annoying habits in your child may be all that you need to understand them? Have you ever thought about it that way? Let's talk that in a bit. Let's talk about that in a bit. Our children do not come with a manual where you can study and say this child is like this, where. If they are sad, it tells you press 1. When they are, when they are dull, or when you don't know what's happening with them, or when they are crying at night and you don't know the reason, press 2. Or when the teenager is talking too much, press reset. No. It doesn't happen like that. As a parent, sometimes you are really clueless about the capacities of your child because you have no access to their mind. Actually, their conduct and behavior and choices is what give you an indication on what they are good at. And so instead of us being very critical of how the child behaves, I think we should take more time and analyze it. Maybe that's what you need to know what your child is capable of doing. Remember the example we talked about what was his name? Albert Einstein, where the teacher defined him as lazy. He can't concentrate and he can't remember anything. And it was said that it doesn't matter what he does, he will never amount to anything. That is what they were defined. But I want us to look at a few examples of someone who was defined, but the parent too looked at it very different and how they turned out. Very quickly. So, I want to talk about a scientist called Ronnie. This young man was defined as mischievous. He was defined as, in fact, he was called dangerous if you read his story, because this is what he did. He once tried to boil engine petrol on their stove. You know what could have happened. And so this is what the parent did. Instead, if you read his story, very interesting story. Instead of chastising this young man for trying to burn the house, they created a space for him to do his work. And so the young man who was once defined as mischievous and utterly dangerous, today, he owns or he holds more than 80 patents. And if in your house you have a water gun, that is his project. Now, another illustration is, let me use an example of a lady. There's a lady called Nancy. Let me just use the first name. If I use both names, you will know. A lady called Nancy. This lady, when she was, I think, grade 7, grade 6 there, she was classified as very loud, noisy, and opinionated. In fact, they called her overzealous. Because during one of the school's assembly, she grabbed the mic from one of the programmers to advertise a student club, which she was starting at the school to encourage a responsible management of waste. Just imagine at that age. But what happened is that her mother, together with one teacher at the school, they never looked at this and said, this is a girl who is, the way you call it, bad manners. They took her and nurtured her. If you want to mobilize, this is what to do. If you need to get fundraising, this is what. Today, see who she has become. Today, she runs this very big network called Crisis Text Line. And this has helped very many people. What is my point? My point is this, that some of the characteristics that your child may be exhibiting today, don't be always negative about them. Be analytical about them. And ask yourself, could they be directing me as a parent in a certain direction? Remember, you have no other access to their mind apart from this. I think you can agree to try that this holiday. See you soon.